Welcome to the SQN Top 10 ranking. For the first time you join in the program, please subscribe to the channel, like, share and comment your opinion with everyone. Today, join us to learn about the top 10 rare phenomena in the planet. Hope you will enjoy. Now, let's get started. Total solar eclipse. A solar eclipse occurs when the moon passes between Earth and the Sun, thereby obscuring the view of the Sun from a small part of Earth, totally or partially. Such an alignment occurs approximately every 6 months, during the eclipse season in its new moon phase, when the moon's orbital plane is closest to the plane of Earth's orbit. In a total eclipse, the disk of the Sun is fully obscured by the moon. In partial and annular eclipses, only part of the Sun is obscured. Unlike a lunar eclipse, which may be viewed from anywhere on the night side of Earth, a solar eclipse can only be viewed from a relatively small area of the world. As such, although total solar eclipses occur somewhere on Earth every 18 months on average, they recur at any given place only once every 360 to 410 years. If the moon were in a perfectly circular orbit and in the same orbital plane as Earth, there would be total solar eclipses once a month, at every new moon. Instead, because the moon's orbit is tilted at about 5 degrees to Earth's orbit, its shadow usually misses Earth. Solar and lunar eclipses therefore happen only during eclipse seasons, resulting in at least 2, and up to 5, solar eclipses each year. No more than 2 of which can be total. Total eclipses are rarer because they require a more precise alignment between the centers of the Sun and Moon. And because the Moon's apparent size in the sky is sometimes too small to fully cover the Sun, an eclipse is a natural phenomenon. It is known that the last time a total solar eclipse occurred was in November 2012. According to scientists, this super rare and beautiful astronomical phenomenon will not occur in about 138 years. Blue moon. A blue moon is defined by the Oxford English Dictionary, OED, as a moon, real, depicted, or imagined, that appears blue, since c. 1820, a long or indefinite length of time. A rarely recurring period or event, once in a blue moon, since 1946, a second full moon in a calendar month. Or formerly, from 1937, the third full moon in a season containing 4 full moons. The calendrical meaning of blue moon is unconnected to the other meanings. It is often referred to as traditional, but since no occurrences are known prior to 1937, it is better described as an invented tradition or modern American folklore. The practice of designating the second full moon in a month as blue originated with amateur astronomer James Hugh Prout in 1946. The moon, not necessarily full, can sometimes appear blue due to atmospheric emissions from large forest fires or volcanoes, though the phenomenon is rare and unpredictable. A calendrical blue moon is predictable and relatively common, happening 7 times in every 19 years, i.e. once every 2 or 3 years. Transit of Venus. A transit of Venus takes place when Venus passes directly between the Sun and the Earth, or any other superior planet. becoming visible against, and hence obscuring a small portion of, the solar disk. During a transit, Venus can be seen as a small black circle moving across the face of the Sun. Transits of Venus reoccur periodically. A pair of transits takes place 8 years apart in December, Gregorian calendar, followed by a gap of 121.5 years, before another pair occurs 8 years apart in June, followed by another gap of 105.5 years. The dates advance by about 2 days per 243-year cycle. The periodicity is a reflection of the fact that the orbital periods of Earth and Venus are close to 813 and 243 to 395 commensurabilities. The last pairs of transits occurred on the 8th of June 2004 and the 5th or the 6th of June 2012. The next pair of transits will occur on 10 to 11 December 2117 and the 8th of December 2125. Transits of Venus were in the past used to determine the size of the solar system. The orbit of Venus has an inclination of 3.39 degrees relative to that of the Earth, and so passes under, or over, the Sun when viewed from the Earth. A transit occurs when Venus reaches conjunction with the Sun whilst also passing through the Earth's orbital plane, and passes directly across the face of the Sun during the Earth's 243 sidereal orbital periods, which total 88,757.3 days. Venus completes 395 sidereal orbital periods of 224.701 days each, which is equal to 88,756.9 Earth days. This period of time corresponds to 152 synodic periods of Venus. Super white lightning storms. Superwhite lightning storms occur every 30 years and are formed in the northern hemisphere of Saturn. It is known that the cause of this phenomenon is due to ammonia gas forming a cloud with a length equal to half the Earth's radius and creating billions of extremely large lightning bolts. Scientists estimate that every second, more than 10 lightning bolts about 16,000 kilometers long appear in Saturn's atmosphere, creating a huge superstorm. Specifically, white lightning superstorms are often about 10,000 times stronger than superstorms on Earth. Lightning is an electrical discharge in the air, so it cannot occur in the vacuum of outer space. However, it appears more often on solid planets like Venus and gas planets like Jupiter and Saturn. Lightning on Venus has been a controversial topic since it was seen in space. Programs such as the Soviet Union's Venera or the United States Pioneer, in 1970 to 1980, a series of signals showing the presence of lightning in the atmosphere of Venus were captured. But when the Cassini probe Huygens approached it and saw no signs of lightning, but the signals captured by the Venus Express were said to be signs of lightning on Venus. Jupiter is currently home to the longest lightning bolt recorded in 2009. With a length of 3,000 kilometers and an intensity 10,000 times stronger than lightning bolts on Earth. The planet lineup. The phenomenon of pentastral convergence, when the 5 planets Venus, Jupiter, Mercury, Mars, and Saturn appear in the sky and line up almost in line with each other and can be tracked with the naked eye in the night sky. According to researchers, this phenomenon of 5 planets lining up last appeared more than 10 years ago and also lasted for 1 month. Based on calculations, Jupiter will appear first in the evening, Mars will appear at midnight, followed by Saturn, Venus and finally Mercury. Compared to Mercury, Venus and Jupiter can be seen more clearly in the sky. In the sky, Mars also stands out with red light. The line in the sky formed by these planets is close to the ecliptic. The ecliptic is surrounded by constellations, called zodiac constellations. The most easily recognizable zodiac constellation is Scorpio. If you stay awake before sunrise, you can see the constellation Scorpio between Mars and Saturn. Dr. Alan Duffy of Swinburne University, Melbourne, Australia gives advice to avid celestial watchers. Literature and curiosity about this special astronomical phenomenon. Mercury will appear near the horizon, so those who want to monitor the event need to choose an observation location far away from tall buildings or dense vegetation. To locate the stars, look at the Moon. Comet Ison. Comet Ison, formerly known as C-2012 S1, was a sun-grazing comet from the Oort cloud which was discovered on 21 September 2012 by Vitaly Nevsky, Vitebsk, Belarus, and Artyom Novichonok, Kondopoga, Russia. During routine observations on 21 November 2012, Vitaly Nevsky and Artyom Novichonok monitored areas of Gemini and Cancer after their observations were delayed by clouded weather for much of the night. The team used ISON's 0.4 meter, 16 in, reflector near Kislovodsk, Russia, and CCD imaging to carry out their observations. Shortly after their session, Nevsky processed data using Kolatek, an automated asteroid discovery software program. In analysis, he noted an unusually bright object with slow apparent movement, indicating a position outside the orbit of Jupiter. Based on the use of 4 100-second CCD exposures, the group reported their discovery to the Central Bureau for Astronomical Telegrams as an asteroidal object, which was subsequently forwarded to the Minor Planet Center. Comet Ison was precovered in analysis of Mount Lemmon Observatory imagery by Gareth V. Williams and Pan-STARRS imagery in Haleakala. Precovery images from Mount Lemmon were first taken on 28 December 2011 and indicated that the comet had an estimated apparent magnitude ranging from 19.5 to 19.9 at the time of its discovery. Comet Ison's brightness was approximately apparent magnitude 18.8, far too dim to be seen with the naked eye, but bright enough to be imaged by amateurs with large telescopes. It then followed the pattern of most comets and increased gradually in brightness on approach to the Sun. On 28 September 2013, NASA launched BRR-ISON, a stratospheric science balloon carrying a 0.8 meters (2.6 feet) telescope and science instruments designed to capture images and data on Comet Ison from an altitude of 37 kilometers (23 miles) on 1 October 2013. Comet Ison passed within 0.07 astronomical units, 10 million kilometers (6.5 million miles) of Mars. Between 29 September and 2 October, the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, MRO, detected Comet Ison. On 14 November 2013, Comet Ison was reported to be visible to the naked eye by experienced observers located at dark sites. However, by November 28, 2013, it was completely disbanded. Comet Halley. Comet Halley, or sometimes simply Halley, is the only known short-period comet that is consistently visible to the naked eye from Earth, appearing every 75 to 79 years. It last appeared in the inner parts of the solar system in 1986 and will next appear in mid-2061. Halley's periodic returns to the inner solar system have been observed and recorded by astronomers around the world since at least 240 BC. But it was not until 1705 that the English astronomer Edmund Halley understood that these appearances were reappearances of the same comet. As a result of this discovery, the comet is named after Halley. During its 1986 visit to the inner solar system, Halley's comet became the first comet to be observed in detail by spacecraft, providing the first observational data on the structure of a comet nucleus and the mechanism of coma and tail formation. The missions also provided data that substantially reformed and reconfigured these ideas. For instance, it is now understood that the surface of Halley is largely composed of dusty, non-volatile materials, and that only a small portion of it is icy. Halley was the first comet to be recognized as periodic. Halley is classified as a periodic or short-period comet, one with an orbit lasting 200 years or less. Despite the vast size of its coma, Halley's nucleus is relatively small, barely 15 kilometers, 9.3 miles, long, 8 kilometers, 5.0 miles, wide and perhaps 8 kilometers, 5.0 miles, thick. Halley is the most active of all the periodic comets, with others, such as Comet Encke and Comet Holmes, being 1 or 2 orders of magnitude less active. Thank you for watching the SQN Top 10 ranking program. Remember to subscribe to the channel, like, and share this program for many people to know. See you again in next video. Thank you very much.